Hello everybody and welcome to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. My name is Smooth Operative and you are watching Time Capsule. It's the show where we travel back in time to your favorite years in gaming and showcase awesome speedruns of games that were released that year. Tonight we pay tribute to games released in 1997 for the Nintendo 64. That would be Bomberman 64 and later Star Fox 64. But before we begin, I'm going to cover a few announcements for everyone. First off, the One and Done-a-thon is coming up yet again August 13th and 14th, and it is the marathon where you can show off your favorite speedrun, and that's your only appearance in the One and Done-a-thon series. Submissions are open from now until tomorrow, July 20th, so just over a day left before submissions close. You can use the command !OADAT in chat to find out more information about submitting a run. Also, Frame Fatales will be having its next all-woman speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, from August 21st through the 27th. The marathon schedule is out now, and you can type !FF in chat or go to gamesdonequick.com/framefatales for more information on the schedule and how you can submit prizes for the event. But with all of that said, joining me right now is Lively Raccoon, who, as I understand it, is quite the authority on all things Bomberman 64. Hi, Lively, welcome.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here. Why don't you give us a rundown of the plan?
Yeah, so today I will be showcasing Bomberman 64 100%. Probably the hardest category that this game has to offer. Gotta collect a lot of stuff. So kind of just to give a little bit of the premise before we get into it, 100% in Bomberman 64 is collecting all of the gold cards and all of the costumes. For gold cards, there will be 5 in each stage, and then costumes, there will be 2 costume pieces we need to collect, and some extra end game objectives. And one of them involves playing on hard difficulty, and that's why I'm going to be doing that. And I think without further ado, we should be good to get going. I'll give a countdown.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thank you. All right. So, start of the run, we immediately reset the console after we start the file. There is a big cutscene that happens after file creation, so that just kind of skips that. At the start of this game, we have access to all 4 of the first starting areas. We choose to go to White Glacier. It gets some luck out of the way early on in the run, and White Glacier is just a bit of an annoying level. It is quite nice to get it out of the way first. Gonna see our first bomb jump here, and then right after that, we will see our first costume piece. One of the things that we need to collect, this little orb that has a question mark on it, that is a costume piece. A little bit about bomb jumps, since we just saw our first one. They look a little difficult, but once you kind of have the general muscle memory down, oh my goodness, okay, almost blew myself up, we're chilling. The general idea of bomb jumps is you put down a bomb, then you pick up a bomb and throw it against a wall onto Bomberman's head. That propels Bomberman back onto the bomb that he put down, which then launches him forwards onto the bomb that he threw on his head, and then he bounces on that, gaining some extra height, or in that case, gaining some kind of extra vertical, or rather horizontal distance to reach a ledge that we wouldn't be able to reach normally. So that was actually the luck that I was mentioning, that we try to get out of the way early. It did not go my way, unfortunately. When I knock down those snow troughs, there is a chance that I get a remote bomb upgrade, which would speed up this level, but unfortunately did not get it, so we're gonna be going without remote bombs. One thing remote bombs help to do, by the way, remote bombs make it so that your bombs explode when you hit the Z button rather than being on a timer. One thing they would help us to do is kill enemies quickly, and that kind of segues nicely into what are the gold cards that we have to collect in these levels. So for each of the non-boss levels, there are 5 gold cards. There are 5 gold cards in every stage, but for the non-boss levels specifically, we have 3 gold cards that are just kind of scattered throughout the level. And then we have 1 gold card for, alright, this bunny is really giving me the business. I'll just kind of run on past him there. And then there is 1 gold card that we get in each stage for killing 30 enemies. That's why I've been kind of killing enemies as I go along. And then in each stage there is also a card for completing the level in under the target time. So each level has a target time that you need to complete the level faster than, and you get a gold card for it upon level completion. If you look at the top left, you'll see the in-game timer has gone red. That means I'm past the target time, so I'm not going to be getting that gold card on this first run through of the stage. I'll talk about that a bit later. Hopefully I can get this to go. It's a little harder without remote bombs, but there we go. Use our snowman friend to help us do a little jump over here to this gold card. Whoa, these enemies are not treating me well right now. Just kind of right where I landed. Fortunately, ran into them, but we're totally fine. Then here we're going to see a red bomb upgrade. That's what I'm going to pick up from this tree. Red bombs, oh no, that is unfortunate. I missed the red bomb upgrade. I will have to get that, so let me go back and try again. I'll explain that in a second. One other thing that's happening in this level is that there's wind. You may have been thinking, like, why is he waiting so much? I basically have to wait for the wind before I'm able to progress upwards. So at some times I need to just kind of wait it out so that the wind doesn't push me down to the bottom of the screen. All right, let's try this again. Hopefully it goes better this time. There we go, we got the red bomb upgrade. So I need that upgrade to be able to hit these enemies. And basically at this point, we are just going to farm enemy kills off of this house, which infinitely spawns these snowboard enemies until we get around 30 enemy kills. So right now we have 14. I'm just checking the pausing to check that count. So now we're at 16. We're kind of in it for the long haul here. Didn't get a ton of enemy kills before this point, so now we're at 20. Again, just racking up the enemy kills so that we can get to 30 and then get a gold card. Whoa. 24, a few have passed me by. This is where remote bombs would be very nice, but I did not get them, unfortunately, because I wouldn't have to kick these bombs into the enemies. I would just kind of have to kick them vaguely in the area of the enemy and then explode them. I believe I'm at 28. Let me just double check. Okay, I am. Oh, there we go. All right, 29, and we'll go up here. Should be a red enemy lying in wait. There we go. That is 30 enemies, and we'll go into this cave and pick up a costume piece. Right there, I pumped up a bomb. When I hold a bomb in my hands and then mash A, it becomes bigger, and the explosion is very large and does more damage to enemies. Then after I collect that costume piece and some upgrades, I take a death warp up to the top of the slope. As I mentioned earlier, there is a strong wind on the screen that makes it so if I wanted to progress up the slope normally, I would have to wait for that wind a few times. So taking that death warp speeds it up a little bit. So a bit of a rough go at it, kind of the enemies being a bit evasive, but got there and completed the level with 4 out of the 5 gold cards and 2 out of 2 costume pieces. So now we're going back into the same stage, and as I mentioned earlier, the gold card that I didn't get was for completing the level in under the target time. So I'm just going to play through the stage again, beating it as quickly as possible, and then I will get that time card, which makes this category kind of fun because you're doing 100% and you've also kind of learned any % hard difficulty along the way, as a lot of stages are going to require this kind of gameplay loop where we do one run through of the stage where we collect a whole lot of stuff, and then another run through of the stage where we just beat it as quickly as possible. Again here, There is a very strong wind, actually made stronger by the fact that we're playing on hard difficulty. If we were playing on normal, we would be able to kind of counteract it a little bit. But the hard difficulty wind, if you don't have something behind you and you're at like the top of the slope, you will get blown all the way down to the bottom if you don't wait. So have to stay patient so that we don't lose a bunch of time, since the target time for this level is 100 seconds and we are going to complete it in around 80 seconds. So if we made big mistakes, we would end up missing that card and it would be pretty bad. But we didn't, and we're just going to go on towards the end of the level here, and we'll be on to our first mini boss. So mini bosses all have some cards that are the same between all of them. So there are 4 or 5 mini bosses that will have cards in common. So for Regulus, what we're going to do is we're going to hit him on the head with a big bomb, hit him with the explosion of a big bomb, kill him without throwing him off the edge, and get the time card. And then specific to Regulus, you get a gold card for interrupting his dash. So I interrupt his dash by hitting him on the head with a big bomb. That's 2 gold cards. Then I hit him with the explosion of a big bomb. That's 1 more gold card. And then the remaining gold cards are kill him without throwing him off the edge and the time card. So there we go. Got 5 out of 5 gold cards. The target time on the mini bosses is very not restrictive. It is 200 seconds here, and we completed that in about 25 seconds, so didn't really have to sweat it too much, and hopefully we won't have to sweat it for any of the future mini bosses. Getting into White Glacier 3, this stage also has a bit of an annoying gimmick. Much like White Glacier 1 had the wind, this stage has ice physics, again made stronger in the hard difficulty, which we are required to play on for 100%. So I am sliding around trying to control Bomberman and kick bombs at enemies that are moving around quite a lot, and trying to time the bombs so that they hit them as they're moving. Pretty good so far. These enemies are very important to this level. They're basically 3 enemy kills in 1. Oh my goodness, he's so evasive. Okay, there we go. And so we kill the main body, that's 1 enemy kill, and then it spawns 2 more little ones, and we get both of those for 2 more. And they really wanted to test the limits of the ice physics, so they made a very thin, winding path with a few changes of directions that's required to get a gold card. So I have to take this quite safe to make sure that I do not fall off the edge. I need all the lives that I can get. Now, one question I get sometimes on this is, why did I make the camera angle like that? The camera being under the ice is not a decision that I made. It just happens on this screen for whatever reason. Now, I'm going to kill 1 more split enemy. Alright, we'll leave the 1 little one behind, that's okay. Move on to this next screen. So on this screen, there are 3 things that I need to do, and usually all of them, if you do them the intended way, would require starting from the top of the screen. So I'm going to get that gold card on the left side and then take a death to get back up to the top. And then I'm going to go over here to the right, kill this split enemy, just trying to bolster my enemy count to get up towards 30 by the end of the stage. There we go. And then going to get this costume piece here. And then the last thing that we need to do is get up to this button. Normally you would need to start at the top of the screen and then build up your speed and ice momentum to get all the way up here. But we're going to do a bit of a glitch and build momentum off of our friend Sirius, who is just kind of standing there, and then use that to launch us up the slope and get to the button without having to either loop around the stage or take another death. So then, trying to kind of make our way towards the end of the level. Got another gold card that we need to get, and we're gonna kill another set of split enemies. Check my enemy count, and it is 25. Okay. 25 is not too bad. I'm gonna need an extra penguin or two, so let's kill this penguin. And then we'll move over here and hopefully get this gold card while also taking out the split enemy. There we go. And then I need one more enemy kill. Let's see how these penguins are behaving. All right, not too bad. Got a bomb into him, and that was the 30th enemy kill, so he drops a gold card. And now at this point we have our 4 out of 5 gold cards and 2 out of 2 costume pieces, so we can just get to the end of the level. So then, again, we're gonna go back into the level that we just played, trying to get the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. One note about the 30th enemy gold card that can be a little bit scary is that when you kill the 30th enemy, it drops the gold card. If for whatever reason you miss that card, it does not spawn again until 60 enemies, and then if you miss that one, it does not spawn again until 90 enemies. And then it won't spawn again because the enemy kill count is capped at 99. So missing that 30 enemy card is one of the worst mistakes that we could make, since it requires having to kill another 30 enemies or kind of do everything over again. And one other thing that can be very scary about the 30 enemies is that if you have 29 enemy kills and an enemy walks off the edge for the 30th enemy, it will spawn the gold card off the edge and you will not be able to grab it, because the enemy's defeated count is more like enemies that are killed or enemies that die while Bomberman is on the screen. So enemies falling off the edge counts towards that, and that can ruin your day. You need to be very cautious on the screen where you know that an enemy could potentially walk off the edge. So the time card of that level was pretty simple. Did a little cool penguin jump at the end, but other than that, just kind of walking through the level. So this is Mantis. Gold cards for this fight. We need to burn both of his claws, so I want it to keep doing what it just did, which was swinging with both claws. Now it's only swinging with the left. Oh, there we go. Very nice. So it takes 4 hits to burn, and we get a gold card for it. Need a couple more hits on this right one to burn it as well. That's another gold card. Now, oh, what's it doing? Oh no. This is not what you want, but hopefully can get it off the wall pretty quickly, maybe. There we go. So the Mantis going on the wall like that is quite unfortunate. It takes a bit of effort to get it to come off the wall, and I somehow didn't damage it. Usually what happens there is that you knock the Mantis on the ground like that, and then you hit it with another big bomb, and it does 2 damage, but somehow I missed that hurt box, and it just kind of got up without taking any more damage. Bit of a weird fight, but it worked out. The other gold cards that I didn't talk about just kind of happen naturally as you're killing the boss. So there's a gold card for exploding the mask that's on the face of the Mantis. That just kind of happens, you know, you're throwing big bombs up at the body of the Mantis. They just kind of hit the face and eventually blow up the mask. And then the other one is for the Mantis breaking the ice, and that happens when it gets down to 1 HP. there is much debate about what that boss is actually, if it is a mantis, or sometimes people call it a spider because there is a web at the bottom there. So, any entomologists want to let me know. I am open to ideas. But we are now on to Green Garden. Finally going to have remote bombs. So nice. It feels so much better now. So with remote bombs, my bombs only explode when I hit the Z button rather than exploding on a timer. So that makes killing enemies a whole lot easier and also allows us to do some nifty bomb jumps. This is a nifty bomb jump, but it doesn't really require needing remote bombs. You can do that without remote bombs. We'll see some other ones a little bit later in the stage that are a bit cooler and more involved. That bomb jump I did there is the same as the one that I did at the very start of the run, where you're putting down a bomb, hitting yourself with a bomb to send yourself back, and then that kind of sends you forwards and up. I just put down an extra bomb that gives me a little extra height. So then on this screen we're also getting red bombs. Red bombs again make it so my bombs do extra damage. So you might remember that these totems were taking me 2 bombs to kill before. Now they only take me 1. So getting that red bomb upgrade significantly speeds up our ability to kill enemies. So in any level that you want to be getting remote bombs plus red bombs, but some levels have remote bombs or red bombs out of the way, or they just don't have them at all. So that can make it a bit difficult. So now, here's one of the things that we need remote bombs for. Essentially, there's a box at the top of the screen that has a costume piece in it. So I'm just going to build a little tower of bombs, blow it up. That costume piece is going to drop onto my head, and then can move on from there. Just walking back and forth on this screen to get some extra enemy kills, just as is convenient, kind of getting any enemy kills that you can while traversing the level, because you don't want to get towards the end of the level and then kind of be scrambling for enemy kills. It's a lot better to have more enemy kills than you need than have fewer enemy kills than you need, since spawning the 30 enemy card early isn't too bad, but struggling to get it to spawn would be quite bad. So going towards another gold card here. See a totem over here, so we're just gonna take him out and then move on back towards the start of the level where we have some business that we need to take care of. So 23 enemy kills is pretty good. So we need to get up to this teleporter. This is another reason that we needed remote bombs. So just going to build a little bit of a staircase for ourselves and then bounce Bomberman up it. This is pretty similar actually to a setup that is shown in the credits of this game to get up to that teleporter. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit simpler than the one that they show. They kind of show a big staircase that you kind of drop off onto, whereas we usually stone ourselves to send ourselves back on top of a bomb that will then kind of propel us forwards on top of other bombs. I lost count, 27, all right. That is a good enemy kill for this part of the stage. As I've traversed through this level, I've just kind of been hitting these buttons. That's just how you get to the end of this stage. Hit all 4 of the buttons. That gets rid of that force field, which allows you to get to this crystal, which will be the end level trigger. But before we get there, we have another gold card that we have to get. So it's on this way, so we're just gonna kill any enemies that are in the way. very convenient end here. A totem kind of right on top of where the gold card spawns, so just kick one bomb and get 2 gold cards out of it. Quite nice. And now we can end the level, and once again we have 4 of the 5 gold cards, including the enemies defeated card and the 3 that are scattered throughout the level, and then both of the 2 costume pieces that are in the stage. And now we just need to get the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. So we're just going to do this level as quickly as possible. Pretty simple level here. Just gonna kind of run around, hit all the buttons that I hit before, but without doing all the stuff in the middle. A fun fact about this game, and this applies to all categories, not just this one. I do play on the English version of the game on N64. When I started running this game, which was in, I think, November of 2013, we actually thought that there was no difference between the Japanese and English versions of this game, because there was no time saved because of the text. The text was identical in terms of the speed, but I was playing on the English version, and I started noticing that I was losing time on the first split to people who were playing on the Japanese version, and it was discovered that the game starts up a little bit slower on the English version, so the kind of splash screens happen slower. So from like 2014 until I think probably like 2019, we thought that the Japanese version was the fastest version of the game. And then a few years ago, Footbig Mike, another runner of this game, discovered that the English version actually loads faster. So went from versions are both the same to Japanese is faster to now English is faster, and hopefully we've reached the verdict there. So now we have Sirius. Again, for every mini-boss, there are common cards, so hit him on the head with a big bomb for a card. Hit him... Oh. One moment. Oh. Hit him with the explosion of a big bomb for a gold card. Then get a gold card for killing him without throwing him off the edge. And another one for the time card. Alright, so getting into Green Garden 3, this is a pretty interesting level. It'll be the first one where I can actually get all the gold cards and costume pieces in one playthrough of the stage, thanks to a glitch. So hopefully I will be able to hit that. It is coming a bit later. It is frame perfect, but that makes it sound a little bit harder than it really is. Which I'll kind of get into as we get there. But first we need to take care of some stuff on this screen. Need to get remote bombs, which allows us to do the trick, and get a gold card that is on this screen. That was weird. It worked though. So get remote bombs there, kind of jump back across and come over here to get a gold card. Oh, okay, thank goodness. If that blue enemy lived through that, that would have been a little scary, since these blue enemies are extremely scary on the hard difficulty of this game, which we have to play on, because they spin very quickly and it's very difficult to kind of react to their movements. So we finished up what we need to do on that screen. We're going to go back over here and now that the crystal has moved, we are able to do the trick in this room. Going to get some enemy kills first, and then hopefully I will be able to stop time. Go up here. Now, here we go. Oh, dang it. That stinks. So, what I was trying to do was trigger 2 cutscenes on the same frame. Unfortunately, the cutscene for blowing up that bridge triggered a little bit earlier than the cutscene for getting that crystal. So what would happen if we were able to trigger both cutscenes on the same frame is I would be able to do a glitch where I would stop the in-game timer, and that would mean that no matter how slow I did the rest of the level, I would have still gotten the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. Unfortunately, it was not able to do that here, so we are going to see 2 playthroughs of this stage instead of 1. And unfortunately, I kind of missed it in the way that makes it a little bit more annoying. So I need to get up. Oh wait, that's the wrong setup. Get up over here. This bomb jump will work eventually. There we go. Get up here. And now need to do a little bit of setup. I need to get to this teleporter that's across this gap. Normally, we would do something after crossing the bridge, but the bridge isn't there anymore, so we have to do this. It's a bit of a scary trick, but we got it, so no issues there. Now, one cool bomb trick that we had to do as part of that jump is getting a bomb to bounce on top of another bomb kind of from a standing position. Basically, we get to a very specific positioning within a bomb and then pick up another bomb, and that bomb kind of jumps out of Bomberman's hands and bounces on top of the other one, which allows us to, well, I don't want that, allows us to stun ourselves and do that bomb jump. So now we have 26 enemy kills. That's what I was pausing to check, getting into this screen. So we're just going to get this gold card here, kill any enemies along the way, and then we've got a couple more things that we need to collect on this screen. And then after we collect those, we will just finish the level. One more enemy kill here, and we will spawn the gold card. There we go. Now we just need to get on up. Whoa, that was scary. That blue enemy was kind of camped out right next to that elevator that we took up. Now the game is actually quite nice about this. If an enemy is too close to an elevator as you take it up there, then it just despawns so that you don't immediately get killed after taking the elevator up. So, very nice of the game to protect me from almost certain death there. So now we're playing through this stage another time. Unfortunately, because we missed that glitch, we do lose about 2 minutes having to play through this stage again. But not a big deal, just gonna run through it. It's a pretty basic stage, just getting to this crystal, then the crystal moves, and then you get to the crystal again, and then it moves again, and eventually it stops moving, and you get to it, and it ends the level.
Lively, can I ask what it is that got you interested in speedrunning Bomberman 64 in the first place?
Yeah. I don't have a grand backstory, kind of. when I was starting speedrunning in 2013, after I'd done speedruns of my favorite game ever, which was Banjo-Tooie, and I didn't really like the speedrun of that game, so I just started thinking, well, I'll just kind of look at speedruns of any games that I own. So I was kind of going through Speed Demos archives, looking at the runs on there for games that I owned for the N64, and I own this one. And as a kid, I really only played multiplayer for this game. When I played single player, I just ran around and didn't do anything. I didn't know what to do in this game. But when I looked at the speedrun on Speed Demos Archive in 2013, it started out with a bomb jump, and I was thinking, that is so cool. I want to do that. And so here I am, 9 or so years later.
That's awesome.
Okay, I guess I have to say, I get to say the thing. I have never seen that enemy kill. That has never happened.
Always got to be one moment like that.
Yeah. So that is quite a fun mistake. Or, I mean, I wouldn't call it a mistake. I'll just call it I don't even know how to put words into that. I have never seen that. Unfortunately, I have to redo the entire playthrough of the stage. We were inches from finishing the level, and that bird came in and ruined it all. So the second playthrough is going to be the same as the first one, although this time maybe I will be a little bit more cautious of the bird at the end, I guess. It's a bit of an unfortunate thing in this game. We are not able to collect any extra lives. It would be very nice if we were able to. You might see that there is a gem counter in the top right, and occasionally I will pick up gems. You might be thinking, what's the point of gems? They give you extra continues. Extra continues are next to useless. Basically, what happens normally when you game over is that you get kicked out of the stage, which you just saw, and you have to replay the stage. So when you run out of continues, instead of just getting kicked out of the stage and onto the level select, you get kicked out all the way to the main menu. And the only thing that changes is that you lose your upgrades. So right now I have the ability to put down like 6 or so bombs, and my explosions are pretty big. I would go back to 2 bombs and very small explosions if I went back to the title screen. No bird there, thank goodness. And the difference really would just be that I would have to spend maybe 20 seconds farming power-ups. So extra continues really not a factor. And hopefully it won't even come to pass. If I am at a point where I'm game overing all the way to the main menu, then we've got a whole lot of other problems on our hands, because that's like 6+ unintentional deaths. So hopefully that doesn't happen. On to Dragon now. The gold cards for Dragon are to burn his head, burn his tail, and then there is 1 gold card each for burning his wings. Each of those takes 2 big bombs to kill. Ooh, I got a swoop. Okay, this attack is pretty interesting. If I do everything right, I can hit every single body part of Dragon on 1 attack, which is very nice. So I hit both of the wings, the head, and the tail there, dealing damage to all of them. And now all that's left is that last wing. So now I have blown up everything, gotten all 4 gold cards. I just need to kill him. Alright, well, I liked the swoop the first time because it allowed me to hit all 4 body parts, but the swoop the second time is actually just the slowest attack when I'm looking to kill him. But can't always get what you want, I suppose. Hopefully he just gives a bite. Okay. Very easy to hit him on a bite, and we'll finish out the fight pretty quickly. Not too bad. Now we are moving on to Blue Resort, one of my favorite areas. I think that it's got one of the best tracks in the game on, a very good soundtrack, so it's saying a lot. And the gameplay is pretty fun. I quite like Blue Resort 1. Blue Resort 3 is one of the hardest stages in the run, but can be pretty fun to play. We'll kind of get into why as that happens, but for now, on Blue Resort 1, we just want to go to this right side. Again, the general gist of how these levels go is you do the first run through of the stage where you're kind of going through the level, routing out. Oh, you got me. All right. Those cannons shoot kind of where you are, and so if you make a loop back to where you were when they shoot, then you get hit, and I got hit there. A little bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Anyways, the general strategy of how you play these stages is kind of making a map through the level of going through, picking up all the gold cards and costume pieces, and then killing any enemies along the way. So kill these enemies and then start blowing up these cannons as vengeance, and also hopefully to spawn a gold card. So one of these 4 cannons will contain a gold card. I got the worst luck, but that's not a big deal. The last cannon should have it. There it is. Alright, and now I don't have to worry about dying to cannons again, and extra don't have to worry about dying to cannons because now I have a heart. I picked up a heart from that butterfly enemy, so now if I were to hit myself with my own bomb or an enemy hits me, then I will not die immediately. Bomb jump up here, and there's going to be a gold card in this house. And now we've kind of gotten everything we need on this screen. We're going to go up these stairs and make our way to some other gold cards that we have to get. Okay. These fish can be kind of elusive if they start running around, but they were pretty chilled there. Let's see if I can get one here. Oh, okay, not bad. Get a gold card here. Nice, got another fish from kicking a bomb into the water over there. And that was kind of all we needed on this screen in terms of collectibles. And so we're gonna go over here, hit this button. That's going to kind of raise this and drain the water from the next screen that we will be on. Get a couple enemy kills before we move forwards. I'm gonna check. I have 25 enemy kills. Again, when I'm pausing, I'm just checking my enemy counts. I got destroyed. That's okay, but I had a heart, so I did not die. I really didn't expect that blue guy to attack me for some reason. I definitely misread that situation, but I'll be able to get another heart relatively soon, so it's not a big deal. Blow up that house, which spawns a costume piece. Although it looks like a bunch of enemies are dying as they fall out of that house, it's not actually giving me any enemy kills. Just kind of playing the same noise as when an enemy dies. And then bomb jump over here. This is why we hit the button to drain the water that was in this area. Now we get red bombs. Another feature of red bombs is that they kind of blow up different environmental aspects of the levels that normal bombs wouldn't. So this wall right here, you would not be able to blow up with normal bombs, but with red bombs, you throw a bomb at it and it blows up that wall and allows us to just get in here, hit this button, which then lowers the bridge to the end of the level. Alright, gonna play it safe here. I see this blue enemy, and I do not want to get hit again. Okay. Finish the level out. Again, we have 4 out of the 5 gold cards and 2 out of the 2 costume pieces. Gonna go back and get the target time card. Pretty simple time card run. It is very quick. This is the part that I saw when I was first looking at an 80% run that inspired me to pick up this game. Is this level, just do 2 straight bomb jumps that get us up that ledge and then on to this button, lowers the bridge to the end of the stage, and then we're just gonna walk over to the left and finish the stage. I'm gonna kick bombs into this blue enemy maybe? Okay, he chilled out. We're good. Okay, cool. Now, moving on to Artemis, our next mini-boss. As a reminder, there are gold cards that every mini-boss has, which is hitting them on the head with a big bomb, hitting them with the explosion of a big bomb, killing them without throwing them off the edge, and the time card. So that's 4 out of 5 gold cards. And then each mini-boss has their own that mini-boss specific gold card. For Artemis, it's just going to be interrupting her attack where she sends out some fire spikes. So this fight can kind of go very well or extremely poorly. We're on a good track here, I think. Interrupted her attack and hit her on the head with a big bomb, then hit her with the explosion of that big bomb. Now we just need to kill her. 20-second fight, very, very good. Once the kind of start of that fight goes the way that you want it to, where you kind of trap Artemis in that spam of bombs, everything after that should go kind of the exact same way every time, as long as you kind of position yourself. So, pretty darn good fight. Artemis is the hardest boss in my opinion by far if it goes off the rails to just kill. She moves very erratically compared to other mini-bosses that have a little bit more predictable movements, and so it can be hard to pin her down to get that kill once the kind of 20-second kill goes out the window. So Blue Resort 3, one of the hardest stages as I mentioned earlier. And the reason for that is primarily we don't have remote bombs for this whole level. Oh, I want that heart. I forgot. Okay. So when we're killing enemies, we're going to need to be pretty precise about the way that we're kicking bombs into them to make sure that they're not able to get away. Had a pretty good first screen there. Got a lot of enemy kills. So I don't know if I've mentioned this explicitly yet, but the enemies in this game, there are set spots where they can spawn, and the way that you can think about how enemy spawns work is kind of you get in a certain distance of the enemy and the game decides whether or not it's going to spawn that enemy based on if there are how many things on the screen are there. So if there are too many enemies on the screen already, then a different enemy won't spawn in, since it's going to take up too much space and lag the game even more. This game lags enough even with those restrictions on enemies on the screen because it is an N64 game, so to be expected. Now we're just rounding out our enemy kill count. Hit that button again, it drains the water. So it drains the water over here, which we needed for this gold card. Where's this fish? There we go, we got him. And then kick a bomb over here to get this costume piece. Check our enemy count, we have 23. Probably want about 26 or 27 before we go on to the next screen. So we'll get 26 here from this blue enemy, and now We just need to kill 4 enemies on this screen. Oop, there we go. And we will have 30, and we'll be able to finish the level. So that big bomb hits that enemy and lowers that bridge. The other big bomb I threw blows up the flower pot that contains that costume piece, and then get that costume piece, kill both of those enemies to get up to 30. So that red enemy spawns the 30 enemy card, collect that, and now we just do some bomb jumps and get to the exit of the stage. All right, so then need to get the gold card for completing the level in under the target time. So we are just going to enter the stage again and beat it as quickly as possible. Pretty simple, just going to do a few bomb jumps to get up these ledges and get right over to the exit. I don't feel confident in this setup. I'm gonna give it a second. There we go. And then do another triple bomb jump and get all the way up. So then, entering the fish fight. Fish has a few attacks and some gold cards that I'll explain kind of as we get them. The first thing I want to do in this fight is hit his tentacle that's in front of his face. I want to hit it with 3 big bombs. It has 4 HP, so I want to get it down to 1. So that's 2. And that's 3. Okay, perfect. And now he's going to go down and do an attack. Okay, so he's going to open his mouth, throw a bomb in for a gold card. Then we do the final damage to that tentacle, that blows it up. And so once that tentacle is blown up, he cannot do that attack anymore where he opens his mouth. This is one of the 2 attacks that he has left, which is the bubbles. It's exactly what we wanted to see. Now I need to hit this tail with 4 big bombs. Oh gosh, get me out of here. I hit it with 2, so that's a good start. Need a little bit more damage on it. Oh, that might have been a mistake, but I'll get back to that in a second. Oh no, I messed up. Just need to do 1 more damage to the tail. Didn't quite get it there. I blew up my big bomb a little too early so that I didn't hit it. So hopefully he does it again. Oh wow, so nice of Fish to do that. I could have done that a little bit faster, but that's fine. Wow, okay. Just live through these bubbles and everything's gonna be fine. So we burned the tail. So now he cannot do that bubble attack anymore. And we've got a gold card for burning the tail. Now there's only 1 attack that he has left, which is this cutter. And I get a gold card for cutting my raft down to 1 log. And because this, heavily restrains our movement, we don't want to do this until the very end of the fight, which is why it is very lucky that he did not do this attack until the very end. So very nice of Fish there to kind of give us, I would say, perfect luck. So very nice of him. This game can be a bit luck heavy, especially the shorter categories, because bosses like Fish exist, where if he did that cutter attack early, it would just kind of be 20 seconds of time lost instantly. All right, into Red Mountain. This is where things are a little scary because we're gonna kind of constantly be surrounded by lava, which will make it so we're kind of always at threat to lose a life, which would be quite bad. Although we have more than 0, so that's pretty good. One thing I did there a couple screens ago, or one screen ago, was I threw a big bomb on the edge of a ledge, and that kind of, you can think about it as extending the ledge outwards so that when we walk forwards with Bomberman, we land on that big bomb and bounce across, whereas normally we would just kind of drop into the lava. The level here kind of started with us making a beeline for red bombs. Red bombs are necessary because they blow up the metal grates that protect those caves. And in this level there are 3 of those caves, and each of them contain either a gold card or a costume piece. So we need to get to those as soon as possible. Here I'm lining myself up to get on the edge of this slope, and that makes it so that those fireballs that are coming up cannot hit me. As long as I am towards the edge, I will not get hit. And then do a little cool jump there. There's nothing in the rest of the run that looks anything like that jump up onto that ledge. I don't entirely understand why it works, but it is pretty cool looking, where Bomberman kind of just jumps up when the bomb catches the ledge. So, got a gold card in this cave, and now we're going to move on to one more cave. One thing you'll notice about these caves is they contain those red enemies, and those red enemies are really nice because they are effectively 3 enemy kills in one, because they have a main body that we kill for 1 enemy kill, and then they spawn 2 little other ones, and we kill both of those for 2 more enemy kills. And that can make it so we get our enemy kill count up quite quickly. So we got the 30 there, picked up the 30 enemy gold card, and now we're exiting and gonna kind of make our way towards the end of the level. There will be a gold card in our way, and we'll collect that and then be able to finish the level. I wasn't sure. These fireballs kind of come up at different timings on these slopes, so I was playing it safe just to make sure that I wasn't going to get hit by that fireball. I would really like to keep my heart. This part of the stage is very scary. I think we're good. We got 2 of these walkways simultaneously, and we need to get on the edge of one to get to the edge of the next one. Again, being on the edge of those just makes it so that we definitely do not get hit by the fireballs. And getting hit by the fireballs would be not catastrophic, but would not be good. Again, I really would like to keep the heart that I have, and there is not really another place to get a heart between now and I think Black Fortress 3 would be the next place where I could get a heart, which is quite a ways away. So now we have, again, 4 out of the 5 gold cards. Both of the costume pieces, we're going back in for that target time gold card. So just, there we go. Just beating the level as quickly as possible, kind of taking a similar route to the start of the first run through of the level, but then we're just gonna run to the next screen, which is where those levers are that we lower with bombs, and then are able to finish the level. Alright, so with that level down, we will be moving on to Orion, who is the mini-boss for Red Mountain. Again, has those same mini-boss gold cards, so hit them on the head with a big bomb, explosion of a big bomb, kill them without throwing them off the edge in the time card, and then the one that is specific to Orion is getting hit by his green attack, which you should see in a second here. I'm not going to get hit by it, but you will see the attack. There it is. So hit him on the head with a big bomb, hit him with the explosion of a big bomb for another card. And I want to bait it out. There we go. I get hit by that green attack for another gold card. That green attack knocks you out, and then Orion kind of runs towards you and tries to pick you up and throw you off. So one thing that I do when I get that green attack is kind of put down a bomb between me and Orion so that he isn't able to get to me to throw me off the edge. Now, if you're watching really closely, something that happened there was a bomb blew up right in Orion's face, and he didn't take damage from it. And that is due to a kind of mechanic that applies to Bomberman and all the mini-bosses, which is when they get up from stun, so when a bomb is kicked into them or something like that, they have a brief period of invulnerability. So what happened there is I kicked a bomb at a bad timing at Orion. It knocked Orion out, and then he woke up from the stun, which gave him a little bit of invulnerability as the bomb went off, and so he just kind of invulned through the explosion, not taking damage. So at the start of this level, we've picked up remote bombs and then kind of traversed through the early parts of this level. Had a little bit of a scare with that minecart enemy where he almost didn't die to my big bomb, but was able to get him. On this section, we just need to hit all of these buttons, and then we will activate another button over here, which then, when we hit that button, it will lower these spikes, spawn a gold card, set up a bomb so we gap jump back across, and now done everything that we need on this screen. Now moving on to this screen where there is a costume piece in a barrel that's kind of up here. So gonna need to, there we go, blow up the barrel and make sure that I'm kind of towards the edge so that when the costume piece drops from the barrel, it just drops right on Bomberman's head, and we are able to easily collect it. So now we're making our way towards another one of those caves that I mentioned earlier that have those red enemies that are kind of 3 enemy kills in one. And also there is another costume piece inside there. So we got red bombs so that we were able to blow up the metal grate and enter the cave. And now we go in here. I need to make sure to blow up that pillar since it has the costume piece. Now just going to farm some enemy kills before we move forwards. Stay at the bottom and then come back up and some more should spawn. Now we have 23 enemy kills. That is the amount that I want before I move on. So now we're gonna make our way towards kind of where the end of the level is, as well as some of the remaining gold cards. This stage is one of the easier ones to have a consistent enemy route through. For a lot of other stages, it can be a little bit difficult to have like enemy spawns down to a science because there is kind of some variability there. But because you get most of your enemy kills in this level through either consistent spawns like these minecart enemies or those red enemies that are in the cave that are essentially 3 enemy kills in one, you can very easily rack up the enemy kill count on a pretty constrained route. So we have 29 enemy kills. Take it a little bit safe here because I was worried I was going to get smushed if I walked forward too soon. Now, where is the next enemy? Let's see. Let's do this. Okay. Kill that enemy for the 30th enemy, and then blow up these pillars, which then drops down this track and allows us to get to the end of the stage now that we have all the gold cards and costume pieces that we needed. A note about the kind of costume pieces that we've been picking up that I haven't really mentioned is what the costume pieces are they kind of correspond to a piece of a costume, go figure, that you can put on for the multiplayer mode in this game. You cannot put costumes on for single player, unfortunately, but each kind of costume piece corresponds to like a head piece or an arm or a body piece of a costume, and once you have all of them, then you can make your Bomberman look cool for multiplayer as long as you have a controller pack, since that's also necessary. This time card run is pretty scary here at the end. Oh my gosh, actually it is not a worry at all. We got very lucky. Sometimes 2 blue enemies can spawn, which, as I've noted before, are very vicious. They can spawn very close to where I was there, but we got no blue enemy spawns, so didn't have to worry about it at all. Pretty darn cool. So now moving on to Hades. This is the big boss for Red Mountain. You can see Orion, our old pal from the second stage, is actually piloting Hades. For the gold cards for this one, we get 1 each for blowing up his hands, so I'm starting the fight by doing some damage to his hands. One of the other gold cards is for blowing up his hat. There we go, we just got it there. That was a very nice pattern, starting out with a spin so that I could take out that hat. So now I'm just going to do some damage to these hands. Ooh, maybe blew that one up a little early because I think this one still has a few more hits on it, but that's okay. So then another gold card that we have is, oh, can I get it? Oh, I missed it. Well, whoa, that was unfortunate. I missed it and I damaged myself. Okay, that is fine. At this point in the fight, we just need to blow up this hand. So we're gonna do some damage there. And now he goes under the lava. Stun him. There we go. Throw a bomb in that compartment, and that's the last gold card that we need. And now we can kill him, and we have all 5 gold cards. A little unfortunate there that we lost our heart on that stage. It's going to make things a little bit more scary as we go through the rest of this until Black Fortress 3, but hopefully I just don't take damage, and now then we don't have to really worry about it at all. So heading into Black Fortress. Black Fortress 1 is one of the rare levels where we can get all of the costume pieces and gold cards in one playthrough of the stage, and we do not need to do any glitches to do that. So hopefully this one goes well. There is only a little bit of time to spare, so if I make any big mistakes, then I will not be able to complete that one cycle. But one thing that makes that one cycle possible, where we can get all the gold cards and costume pieces in one playthrough, is this stage is the exception to the rule with costume pieces. So most stages have 2. This stage only has 1, and it makes it so that Black Fortress 3, which is the stage 2 from now, has 3 instead of 2. I think they did that because Black Fortress 3 is a massive level, and Black Fortress 1, this one is a pretty small level. But very thankful that that is the case, so that we are able to one cycle the level, hopefully. Okay, that is a scary part of the level. I need to wiggle out of the stun so that the bus doesn't hit me. Every time I am doing a bomb jump, I'm wiggling the control stick to make Bomberman wake up sooner rather than later. Alright, So here is where we get all our enemy kills. If you have noticed, we haven't really killed any enemies up to this point, and that's because there's a mini boss here that we're going to get all the enemy kills on. So set up a bomb. One thing I got was red bombs, remote bombs, and then 2 extra firepower upgrades, which you can do with red bombs to make your bombs a little bit bigger in explosion radius. So now my bombs are quite large and they can hit all 3 components of this mini boss. And hitting all 3 at the same time is quite nice because we can just kind of stand here at the back, kick bombs at it, and not have to worry about what it's doing because it's not really going to be able to attack us at all since it's constantly being damaged and we're so far away. Now, one thing you might have already noticed is that the middle component of this mini boss is just constantly spawning these blue enemies, and we are going to take advantage of that. And at the end of the fight, we're just leaving the middle component, getting rid of the left and right, and farming enemy kills. And so we're going to be able to get 30 just off of this section. And as long as it goes off without a hitch, we'll be able to get that gold card, which will be our last gold card, as well as the time card. So that's 25, 26, let me just make sure, okay, 27, 28, 29, and 30. Oh, please. I don't think I got it. Oh no. Did I miss it? I think I messed it up. I sure did. That's so unfortunate. Oh my gosh. I accidentally hit the camera button to rotate my camera and I just missed the enemy card there. So we only got 4 out of the 5. Oof, well,
Can we remedy it?
We sure can. It's going to take a bit of time. But we can indeed remedy it.
Well, we do have time.
This is why I raised the estimate from an hour 35 to an hour 40. All right, so I'm just going to kind of do almost the same thing that I did before to get towards the end of the level, and then from there we're basically gonna do the exact same thing, but I'm just gonna not turn the camera for no reason, and we'll get the enemy card this time. I don't actually know where the cycle is. Okay, there we go. Get on up here. And we'll get right on back to it. You know, these things happen. This is why 100% is one of the harder categories, if not the hardest, in Bomberman 64, is because you make one little mistake, like hitting the C right button for no reason, and you lose a couple minutes. But we persist onwards regardless. Everything is totally fine. And this time I will learn from that mistake and not do it again. All right, so again, starting with that red bomb, gonna hit that first bomb only hits the left and right components. That's how at the end of the fight we're just left with the middle, is we start by only damaging the left and right, and then everything else kind of hits all 3. Okay, just keeping it simple. This part can actually, it's the part that I am more fearful of than the part that I messed up, because sometimes those blue enemies can kind of get away from your bombs and start charging at you, and that can be quite scary. So just doing the same thing as last time. Farming enemy kills off of this mini-boss. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And you'll notice that time the camera stayed straight behind Bomberman. That's because I didn't hit the C right button. And during that cutscene, the gold card goes right into Bomberman. We're able to collect it and get to the end of the stage. All right. Recovered. Everything's fine.
Nice recovery.
Thank you. So now, the part of the run where I really wanted a heart, but unfortunately do not have one, is Harvester. This is, I would say, the hardest boss in the game. He has a lot of attacks that are quite annoying. So his gold cards are blowing up his left arm, which has 6 HP, his right arm, which also has 6 HP, and then his faceplate, which has 10 HP. And then there's one additional gold card for blowing up the orb, which is something that he'll hopefully send out soon enough. Let's see. Alright, he's not giving me the orb, and I'm dead. That is unfortunate, but that's how it goes on Harvester. He sends out those missiles, which you kind of have to make occupy your attention because they're locking onto you. And then he has other attacks like those drones that are creating hitboxes on the screen that you have to avoid as well. And it's just so many things happening, and it's very hard to avoid them all. It's still not giving me the orb. It's kind of the only attack that I need him to do for a gold card, so hopefully... There it is. Okay. So the orb slows down the game while it's out. So we just want to take it out as soon as possible, get a gold card from that. And now we just need to blow up the left arm, which we just did, the right arm, and the faceplate. There goes the right arm and the faceplate. Uh-oh, that's really early for all of that. It's a little scary, actually. So you might have remembered when he did missiles earlier, there were 4 of them, and they weren't very fast. When I blow up all of his components, when he does missiles, there are 6 instead, and they are extremely fast and very scary. So that's why I was kind of hugging the wall at the end of the fight, just to not die to those missiles. You know, all things considered, only dying once on Harvester isn't so bad. It is one of the scariest parts of the run. And, you know, I'm going to take an intentional game over here. Now, the reason being is the single worst mistake that I would say that you can make in this run would be game overing at the end of this level, because it is extremely long. And so if I do that, if I died at the end of this level with 0 lives, that would be a game over, and I would lose probably 6 or 7 minutes. This stage is extremely long, and do not want to have that time loss happen. So just take a game over, refresh our lives so we don't have to worry about it happening and losing a whole bunch of time. But yeah, this is Black Fortress 3. As I mentioned, it is a massive level. It is by far the biggest stage in the run. So we're just gonna have to traverse through the labyrinth that is this level, collecting all the gold cards and costume pieces and picking up enemy kills along the way. So this big bomb here, oh, that was a little unfortunate. I wanted to kill like all 3 of those enemies. There we go. It took 2, but we got them. That's totally fine. So kill those enemies, and then I'm gonna hit this switch, which is gonna activate this elevator here, do a bomb jump up towards that, kill this purple guy since he's in the way, and go on to the elevator. And now we're gonna get to the part of the stage that is the most maze-like, that has a bunch of sections that look very similar, making it a very easy place to get lost casually. but hopefully I know my way through this stage, so should not be getting lost, and we'll get towards where some gold cards and costume pieces are, getting some enemy kills along the way. So there's only one enemy that you see on the screen here, but hopefully, yeah, I throw that big bomb and walk upwards and it actually spawns an additional enemy, and so I get 2 enemy kills there rather than just the one on the purple enemy. Oh, it's a little unfortunate. I wanted that enemy kill, but as I mentioned earlier, when you go up an elevator, if an enemy is too close, the game is just going to despawn them to protect you from getting immediately hit or stunned. Now, in that instance, I probably wasn't actually in any danger, and as a result, just kind of lost an enemy kill that I would normally get. That's okay. Get this gold card here, and then we're gonna bomb jump back up. All these bomb jumps, you know, we have visual cues for kind of the spacing, and a thing about this level, or this game in general, is that it's kind of laid out in tiles. If you think about a tile being like the width of a tile being the diameter of Bomberman's shadow, then bomb jumps, you just need to be kind of 3 tiles away from the wall that you're bomb jumping up, and then you will get it every time. And often there are things that you can kind of run up against in the level that will put you at that spacing, or there will be something that you can kind of align Bomberman's shadow with, and that will give you the perfect spacing to do some of those bomb jumps. So they end up being kind of mostly just knowing the setup and having the muscle memory, rather than being something that is super tricky once you kind of get all that down. So we've gotten everything we need from this section, just going to make our way back down, killing enemies along the way, and then gonna drop back down, hit this button again. That'll activate an elevator, a different elevator, or well, it activates the same elevator, but in addition it activates this elevator over here. Get on that and we can start making our way towards a little bit towards the end of the level, and also where some other costume pieces and gold cards are. So I paused there a little bit earlier, checked my enemy count. We had 25, so now it's at 26, 27. Now we're gonna hit this switch, which is gonna activate a bridge to our left, and then bomb jump up. Go on over here, get this gold card, bomb jump back up again, get this costume piece that's in this box, one of the most easy to forget costume pieces in the run, but luckily remembered that time, and now we are at 29 enemy kills. I'm actually going to skip this enemy because I think I can do it a little bit more efficiently than killing that enemy by killing this one, which is right in the way. So that bridge that I just walked across was the one that got activated when I hit that 4 switch over there. And then right as I bomb jumped up, I hit the 3 switch, and that 3 switch activated this bridge, which allows us to get over here and collect this costume piece. And now we have everything we need. 4 out of the 5 gold cards, 2 out of 2 costume pieces, and we can just progress to the end of the level. That wall is blown up just by a simple red bomb. Later we'll have to pump up a bomb in order to blow it up. And just kind of get to the end of the level here. And, you know, you can see how massive this level is. The in-game timer, which, you know, isn't running during any of the loading screens or the transitions, has 300 seconds. So you can imagine if you game overed at the end of a 300-second level, not even including the kind of transitions, it would lose quite a bit of time. So thankfully, didn't have any deaths. That went relatively well, and now we are back into the level to get the target time card. this target time card, it can be a little bit difficult, but it's pretty straightforward. This bomb jump, I actually just didn't move horizontally from the start of the screen, and it puts me at the perfect bomb jump spacing, so I didn't have to set that up at all. This next screen is kind of the only scary part of this time card run, since these enemies can kind of get in the way. Oh my goodness, okay. Those enemies were in a bit of a spooky position, but we're all good. So I'm seeing people discuss that there are other Bomberman games on the N64, and so fun fact about that is that there are 4 Bomberman games that are on the N64. One of them a lot of people don't know about because it's Japanese exclusive, so there is Bomberman 64, Bomberman 64 The Second Attack, and Bomberman Hero, which are all released in the US as well as Japan. And then there is also a game called Bomberman 64 that is Japan exclusive, because in Japan I believe this game is called Baku Bomberman. So a little bit of confusion with the titles. There are kind of 2 games titled Bomberman 64 that are different games, but you know. Alright, so getting into Altair on an any % run of this game, or a run where you don't collect all the gold cards, this would be the final boss. But for us, it is not the final boss, because we have one more area to go after this. So Altair has 2 phases. This first phase has a quick kill that we're going to do. There is only 1 gold card for this first phase, which is a time card. So we just kill that first phase as soon as possible. Little preview into how the any % runs of the mini bosses look. They look a lot like that, where you are able to knock them off the edge in 5 seconds. Then the second phase of the fight has all the normal mini-boss cards. So I'm going to start the fight trying to hit him with the explosion of a big bomb. Nice, and then I want to hit him on the head with a big bomb. I need to wait until he shoots a beam at me. There it is. Oh, he teleported away still. I can't believe he still had time. Wait through the teleports. Alright, he's going to dance at the top of the screen for a while, but he will come down and do that beam again. There we go, we got him that time. Now, all we need to do is kill him without throwing him off the edge, and we'll get the last gold card other than the time card, which we will also get. Just need to kick bombs at him. Altair Phase 2 has a really long stun time when you kick bombs into him to compensate for the fact that he teleports away. Whenever you try to throw a bomb at Altair, he will just teleport away, which is why when I was hitting him on the head with a big bomb, I needed to wait until he did that beam to do it. So let's see, did I get all the gold cards? I did. That's good. It's pretty easy to do that, but it's more... I would say it's more likely that I missed a costume piece than a gold card, and this only triggers when you get all the gold cards. So hopefully I have all the costume pieces up to this point. So here, Sirius is revealed to be the bad guy. He absolutely obliterates Altair. We will never be seeing him again, and he flies on away to Rainbow Palace. So Rainbow Palace is the secret area that is only unlocked when you collect all 100 gold cards in the first 5 areas. Rainbow Palace 1 one of the hardest stages in the game and one of my favorite to execute, hopefully able to have it go well here. First thing that we need is a remote bomb upgrade. These pillars have a chance to spawn remote bombs. Oh nice, both of them did it. That is very lucky and very kind of the game to spawn me that. I like that a lot. So now that we have remote bombs, our bombs only explode when we hit the Z button, which makes killing these enemies a lot easier, and it will let us do some cool bomb tricks to get some other collectibles in this stage. Oh, okay, there we go. Gonna jump over here, get this gold card, and then jump right back. That spacing was a little weird, but it worked. Gonna kill this enemy, and then I'm gonna walk backwards, and it should hopefully spawn another one of those enemies. It didn't. All right, well, sometimes that happens. That might have been the later spawn of the green enemy. Not entirely sure, but not a big deal. Just one fewer enemy kills than we might have had otherwise. So I'm gonna start out just kind of killing some enemies. I'm going to walk over here, kill this green enemy, walk back, and then that will respawn it so I can kill it an additional time. And then killing the rest of these enemies over here and blowing up some parts of that part of the screen that I need to be off the screen. Oh, there we go. Now I'm gonna drop down into those stairs. That puts me in the perfect spacing for this bomb jump. Then I'm able to walk over here. Gonna do a nice little setup that will let me do a jump over to where this next gold card is, and then also allow me to jump right back. So get the gold card, and now we're gonna jump on back. And now gonna do the same thing I did earlier, kill this green enemy, walk over back here, and then walk back, get him to spawn again. There aren't a lot of opportunities to kill enemies on this stage, so to get to 30, we do need to kind of mess around with respawning enemies like that sometimes. Alright, so here's where the cool part of the stage happens, where I do the trick that I did a little earlier, where we're able to set up a bomb jump without a wall by getting to a very specific position inside of a bomb, and then picking up a bomb, and it kind of ejects out of Bomberman's hands and bounces on top of the other bomb, allowing us to do these bomb jumps across these big gaps. This one's a little tricky because I don't have a lot of space. All right, that went quite well. Really nice. Now, I wanted to keep this pillar here. It lets me set up this bomb jump spacing to get on up here. And now kill a couple more enemies. And then get this cloud enemy over here, hopefully. There we go. Check my enemy count, 25, okay. And then hit this button. That'll allow us to get to the exit. And once we've done that, maybe get another enemy. Yeah, nice. And then go down here, get another enemy kill here. We're at 27. Then kind of walk downwards so that the enemies have space to spawn. 28, 29, and one more. 30. Now we just need to do a little jump on over to the exit. And that was a really solid Rainbow Palace 1. That went quite well.
You make it look so easy. I bet it's difficult.
You know, it takes a good amount of practice, but kind of once you got the visual cues down, those end up being a little bit, I would say, less difficult than they look most of the time. Oh, that was unfortunate. Let's see. Just need to beat this stage as quickly as possible. I basically just need to hit this button and then get to the exit. All right, there we go. I fell down a little bit there, but that is totally fine. Now I'll do a couple of gap jumps here and then do the same thing that I did to finish the level before, to finish the level in 33 seconds to get the target time card. Alright, so now Spellmaker. This is another boss that is quite annoying to deal with, but hopefully it'll go well. At the start of the fight, I'm just going to wait for a certain attack. He has an attack where he sends out a hand, and I get a gold card for putting a bomb in that hand. And I'm just going to start by waiting for that attack. He only has 3 attacks at the start of the fight. Oh, really nice luck. He only has 3 attacks at the start of the fight, and he gains more as he gets damaged, so that's why usually I would have to wait for that hand, but we got a first try, which is really nice. Now I need to blow up his head and his cape. This is the most difficult and finicky part of the fight. Basically, what I'm trying to do is hit him with a big bomb like that so he goes under, and then kind of set up a big bomb so that when it goes off, he moves into the explosion just like that. So that big bomb hit his head and his cape, giving us both of those gold cards. And now, from here, I just need to kill the boss and we will be good. Now, if you're keeping very close track, you might have noticed that I explained 3 gold cards and I just have another one. So at the start of the fight, you just get one of the gold cards for free, and Spellmaker has another attack where he spawns some upgrades, and if you pick up any of those upgrades, then... oh, here it is. If I picked up any of these upgrades, then I would lose that gold card that I gained. Alright, he's dead. Sometimes he doesn't attack after he dies. Okay, he didn't. Not bad. The hardest part of that fight is just getting him to move into your big bomb explosion so that you're easily able to blow up his head and his cape, which only took us a couple tries, so that was quite nice. Alright, so now we're into Rainbow Palace 3. This, I swear this time it's actually going to happen. It's going to be one of the stages where we can get all the gold cards and costume pieces in one playthrough of the stage. And this one, we have a decent amount of leeway. There is no glitch involved unless you count bomb jumps as glitches. And we're just gonna kind of traverse through the level and get enemy kills very quickly. So we took care of everything we need to do outside, where we got that gold card, costume piece, and remote bombs. And so now the rest of this level is just going to take place in this room here, which is kind of a big hallway. Alright, I want some luck to go my way. So these enemies that take forever to kill can spawn a red bomb upgrade. Didn't get it there, that's unfortunate, but that's okay. Everything's fine. And that red bomb upgrade, again, would make it so that my bombs deal double damage, which would speed up the level significantly if I was able to get it early. There we go. Okay, cool. Perfect. So now these enemies die in 1 hit instead of 2. The earlier you get it, the faster the level goes, since you're effectively cutting down the amount of bombs that you have to kick in half. So the stage is kind of going to go, basically, we go up the screen, killing any enemies that have spawned, and then kind of make our way back, again killing other enemies that have respawned, and once we're kind of out of enemy spawns, then we hit one of the buttons, and that will respawn the enemies again. I'll walk back here to spawn more enemies. And then, oh wait, did I hit this one? Okay, thank goodness. I did not hit this one. Hit this button. I hope the spacing works. Can't you just squish those guys with a bit pump bomb? So you cannot, for those enemies. So this is a weird thing about enemies, is some of them you are able to squish. But these enemies, if you were to throw a pumped bomb on their head, they would just get stunned. So, unfortunately, not able to kill them very quickly. Would be quite nice if we were able to. Oh, messed up. That's okay. Just redo the bomb jump and space it a little bit better this time. There we go. That should work. Respawn some more enemies. Walk up the screen. Oh, kill this guy. Now, walk back and walk up so that we have some more enemy spawns. Kill these guys. Walk to the very bottom of the screen. Gonna check my enemies. 26. Oh, didn't get those spawns. 27, 28, 29. And now, you know what? Sure. I will just get these enemies and get 30 here. Hit the last button. All right. As long as I didn't mess it up and miss a costume piece somehow, we finally one-cycled the level. Nothing went wrong that time. That's great. So now we can move on to the final boss. So this is Sirius. First phase of Sirius, much like Altair, just has a time card. So we are going to kill him as quickly as possible. Sometimes we can get like a 3-second quick kill, but that time he just kind of flew off right away. We have another strategy for this. Gonna wait. Okay, he's going to the right. So we pause just to see which direction Sirius is going, and then just take him out with that big bomb. So then, second phase of Sirius just has the normal mini boss gold cards. I'm going to walk up left, and he should laser down left. There we go. And now we're going to use this to hit him with the explosion of a big bomb. Just going to walk up here, going to hit him on the head with a big bomb. All right, no, we're not, but we're going to try exactly the same thing to hit him on the head with a big bomb for another gold card. Regulus, go away. So the other gold card on this fight is for Regulus to live. Regulus is our friend down there, who sometimes it's questionable to call him a friend with how he kicks bombs at me. And he isn't very smart. I like what he's doing right now, though. Walking back and forth, that's a great strategy. A lot of the time with that laser, he just walks into it. And we're almost to the end, and that's it. That's time.
Wow, GG.
Thank you.
Lively, thank you so much for running this game for us. It really looked challenging, and I think a lot of people saw some levels and things in the game that they have never seen before.
Yeah.
So that
glad,
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, glad I got the chance to show it off, and it didn't exactly go off without a hitch, but it went totally fine. We hopefully, I guess I should verify that we actually got all the costumes. So let me see.
Gotta make sure.
So we'll skip the credits here. Unfortunately, the credits are like 15 minutes long, so I don't think we have time to watch all of that. So I'm just gonna reset the console, and we're gonna take a look. All right, so we did have all 120 gold cards. Looking at costumes, and we have them all. We did it. It is a 100% run. Thank goodness.
Nice.
Just equip some costumes as a celebration there. Cool.
Oh, that is a look. Lively, do you have any shout outs or advice you might want to give to anyone interested in running this game?
Yeah, have tutorials, and so this game I would say is very easy to get into for the any percent category. There are tutorials for it and a very welcoming community. So if this run seemed cool at all, I really do recommend trying to pick this run up. Any percent specifically, you can learn and start getting into runs in a matter of a few hours. So, look at the speedrun.com page and kind of see the tutorials there. I have one that's like 8 minutes that just covers the very basics of any percent. So check that out, and hit up the Discord or if you're interested. I love this game. I'm always happy to help people learn this game, and I love seeing people try it out. So if it seems cool, then try it out, and if not, thanks for watching.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much, Lively, for being here. And Richard posted it in the chat, but if you have not followed Lively Raccoon here on Twitch, make sure you do that if you did enjoy this run. Before we break, make sure to check out Games Done Quick on Instagram to get bite-sized clips from all of our Hotfix shows and to catch sneak peeks at what happens behind the scenes at our events. And also a big thanks to our supporters. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel do help support our weekly Hotfix content. So please consider subscribing if you do enjoy these weekly shows. Stick around and we'll be right back with Star Fox 64.